Good morning. So here's a crack with this YouTube thing, okay? We've both of us, I think, have posted a couple of little bits about this idea, and as of yet, nothing's materialised. So I'm just going to quickly explain what's going on with that. After the Fogel show went out, we got offered our own programme, like an hour-long episode for fucking 12 episodes or something, you know the kind of thing. You see it with, like Amanda's got one, Amanda Rowan's got one, the Yorkshire Farm and that sort of thing. Anyway, you'd be a twat if you didn't consider the opportunities that you're offered in life. So we considered it, but it really wasn't for us. It took some doing to get us to do the Fogel one, to be honest, but we did because Ben's a nice lad and the director was lovely and we trusted them. Anyway, so we did that. We didn't want to do our own thing. And then somebody mentioned, well, look, why don't you do this thing for YouTube instead? So, you don't have to stop what you're doing to accommodate a film crew, like 4 or 5 people wandering around with you all the time. That's a really structured format. No, okay, so it wouldn't be scripted, but it's really structured. And we're not a structured couple, and we don't live a structured life, thank fuck. It's just not for us. But the idea of doing something for YouTube where it's just us with our phones or whatever, filming as we're going, editing it ourselves, or at least a couple of people that are close to us to edit it for us. That was much more interesting to us. So we agreed and said, yeah, okay, we'll do that. And the first one was supposed to be February. And Nathalie had this idea that because most people that would know us, I suppose, is probably on the back of the Fogel thing, saw how lovely it is where we live. She thought that it would be interesting if the first one was largely about the storms that came just before that programme actually aired, after it was filmed, but before it was aired. Which completely smashed where we live to pieces. All of Northumberland and so many people that we know, their lives were massively, massively fucking affected by it. So I thought that was a great idea. We should do that. What we didn't want to do was focus on mental health, which is what the production companies were asking us to do. Nathalie's mental health in particular, because I don't have any mental health problems. But obviously she does, and they wanted to go on that, which is kind of understandable. And more people should be talking about mental health, but we didn't want to, because it's not what defines Nathalie. It's a part of her makeup. It's not fucking all of her. And we felt like we'd already kind of done that, so we didn't want to do it. But in some weird twist of irony, the reason that we haven't started this thing for YouTube yet was because of Nathalie's mental health. She's had a really shit start to the year. It's not been going well at all. And it was supposed to be about us, not about me. So I didn't want to start anything without her. And then it got to the point, okay, we have to start doing something. So I started filming a bit with Leyland, the Lord, who you'll start to meet in a minute, and a few other ideas, and started making ideas of stuff that I thought we should perhaps be doing. Friends of ours and their businesses that we could go and see, and get as many people as we could involved in this. So the Arwen thing is having to take a bit of a back seat, and actually, now that I think about it, that mightn't be a bad idea anyway. It might be better to show that further in the year, once you start to see more of the progress we're making in terms of a cleanup. So this is going to be the first one. And it's at the moment it's pretty fucking typical of what happens in our life. Actually, today is a wet day, can't do much, trying to fix the tractor. So that shouldn't take me too long. But what we're going to hop to now quickly is what I was doing the other day with Lordy, which was fixing a forwarder. That's been typical of all of this week, which is typical of most of our lives, and that was what we wanted to capture and share with anybody that is bored enough to watch, is who we are and what we do, not a more contrived version of who we are and what we do by having the structure of a film crew. It's just us doing our shit with our mates. So enjoy. before Nathalie and I escaped to the woods here and started this business, I was working predominantly in the film industry, did a few different things, but my favourite role was working in facilities. Facilities is great because you're not allowed to sleep and you have to find ways of fixing everything in the middle of fucking nowhere with absolutely nothing. So you have to kind of just learn on your wits, you know, and that's stood me pretty well for this job, this life. And today's a great example of that. I've just rebuilt this hydraulic pump. It sits on the back of the tractor down there. And for the third time, I think, in 3 months, I've just had to rebuild the bloody thing. It powers the forwarder crane here. So it's pretty vital. But I'm quite proud of this. I'll show you. So what do you think?
So I don't feel like I've been that much use this week. I certainly don't really feel like I'm talking to the camera at the moment. But we've had a lot of breakdowns. Poor Kezz has had to fix everything. So I've mainly been getting parts, running around looking for different things for him to use. I'm off to get some hoses and some oil now. I suppose if I hadn't been running around to get the parts, there's nothing he can do, so that's useful. I've been to the gym and had quite a few site visits actually. I think so. One of the things that I find the best for me, that just I can really focus on, is when I'm cutting in the woods, and you have to focus or you're going to cut your fucking leg off or something. So I just find that it's the best thing for me most of the time. But when you've got all your machines broken, can't do that. So I am being useful by running around getting stuff and the parts so that Kezz can fix all the machines. It's just it's really frustrating. I just feel a bit useless because I want to be able to help more, but I just get in the way. Kezz has got people around him that are much better than me to be able to help.
And you don't have what you need, you learn to make do. Got a tree strap here, got a ratchet strap, some cable ties. I mean, it's not fucking going anywhere. Look at that, it's pretty solid. I mean, it's the mother of invention. I think that's pretty good. So with all that back together, I think we should probably just fire it up and see if hello, what's this? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a very special treat. Making his way down my track now with his boyish charm and Labrador-like enthusiasm is the one and only missing link, Mr. Lord Greystoke. Well, sorry, Lord Leyland. Hello, sweetheart. We're filming here. Let's see what he makes of this.
Bite.
Well, come on, look, this is Leyland-esque. I've got a ratchet strap and some cable ties.
It's just missing duct tape and then you'd have the perfect combination.
Yeah, you know, and oh, shit.
I don't think about it. About you leaving me. I don't know who I'd be with everything we built just turned to broken leaves. I don't think about.
It's definitely the right stuff.
No. No, not definitely.
Not definitely. Nah,
But look, it's nearly got our name on it.
yes, Petronas. Best thing to do, I think, after we've done this, we just leave this running and get that warmed up.
Yeah. So there's a bit of history with this trailer. Stu, the wagon driver, drives for Woody Fuels. He bought it brand new from Jazz Wilson's. We think it was the first one that they made.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 22 years ago, something like that.
Fuck yes, I definitely have seen the road. So this oil's never been changed. That'll explain.
And then it ended up at Annabelle's at Lilburn Hill, and then Festa took it off her, and then you were the first one to use it at Festa's, and tell the people what you did, Ben.
I don't have a lot of experience on these things, so I was just told to test it out, and these are really important.
Those legs.
Yeah, very important. I found that one out that day.
You rolled it, didn't you?
Rolled it, twisted it 90 degrees, and then fucking hell. I'll tell you what you need, because if you do it yourself, it's illegal for the for companies to do it for you. You should replace the hydraulic hose completely, but you get the screw-in ferrules. So you just cut it in the middle, and then just use the bloody hex type that you put on the back then, and the other one goes in the pipe and just pulls it all together. And they work fucking well.
You know who got me onto those? Festa. Yeah. I'd never heard of them, and he went, "Come and look at this." He said, "When you're out in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere," he said, "This is where." Yeah. They have got me. I bought a few, and they've got me out of a bind a couple of times.
Well, do you want to get us started up? Leave it running for 15 minutes. Go have a coffee. Wait for it to heat up, and then see what happens. See bits of shit in there already. And most of them were from the first can.
And that was new. Shocking.
I'll probably do stuff on the top. Yeah.
Quality control is fucked. Ben, we might have to do something about this as well.
Ooh. I don't think your brakes work anymore. Now?
Is that fixed now, is it?
Well, bit of Billy Band. Grand. Just leave it for a bit. We can get away with it for now, but I'm looking at that. This is catching, but I'd rather it went under there and then back up. You've got a better chance of holding a little bit better. We'll wait till it's warm.
Are you suggesting that my temporary fix isn't good enough?
No, I'm saying I'm just watching that to make sure it doesn't move. That's double laced in there, so it's actually keeping it up a bit. It's under there, but it's not. I know what's going to happen. We're going to go for a coffee and we're going to come out. There's going to be that spinning like mad with fucking oil all around the whole trees and everything. Hey, Neffy dog. Yeah, I was just admiring your table again for our graffiti session. Oh yes, Leyland I suck.
What's Leyland I suck?
Stand by there.
What's that all about?
One of my ancestors made the Cyprus Leyland and it's been ruining people's lives ever since. Life is good, quoted Luke. Now that hasn't had a message for quite a while.
What's that?
The Smokehouse Sesh.
Oh, yeah.
That hasn't been done for a long time. Who wrote that one?
Not me. Might have been Ollie.
Not as many penises as you thought there would be.
There is one that's actually ejaculating. Right then, moment of truth.
Yeah. That's alright.
That's good, eh?
Try the other one. It's not at the same speed, it'll be alright. A lot of oil going through a small hole there.
And that's no revs.
Yeah. Absolutely fine.
Keep an eye on that pump when I put some load on and see if it tries to throw itself off.
go inside where the shaft is in here. We'll have a look, see if we put it under any load. There's obviously a seal away on the inside.
So what we're saying then really is that the job's fucked.
Yeah.
The joys of running your own kit. After all of that, it's still not working. Good job Lordy turned up when he did. That was really helpful, as he generally is. But yeah, it's still goosed. So more work to be done this weekend. One issue with this pump is that I don't actually know what make it is, so I can't really source any parts for it. If anyone recognises this, leave your thoughts in the comments below and help me out. Standard day really. You spend a load of hours taking something apart and it still doesn't work. So Lordy's gone back to his farm. He's got some fencing to do before Bitty gets back. Bitty being Lordy's mum. Oh gosh, she's epic. She's water skiing in Australia. Honestly, she's so mint. Anyway, I'm going to try and get this thing stripped now and get a good look at it, see if I can work out why it's not working. And we'll catch up with Ben in a bit. He's got an oak tree that he needs me to do. It's kind of how it works here. One of us goes and helps someone with something, and it gets repaid with whatever it is that they need to do. So let's crack on. Driving down at Lordy's place now, and this I had to stop and just get a bit of this. This absolutely broke my heart. Last spring, Nathalie and I came in here and thinned this wood. A year later, and they've chosen to clear fellow. Just what is it was a total waste of time and resources and timber. And it was a really nice wood. And look at it now. What is the point? So I thought I should probably explain a bit why I'm so annoyed about that clear fell. So as I say, it was a job that Nathalie and I had already thinned. Then the storms came and they caused it a little bit of damage, so the owners had us go back and tidy it up, which we did, and again it looked really nice. And then we built a new bus stop for the village out of the timber that we took out of there, so that brought some of the timber. And then I've just driven past it today and seen that it's flat, you know, it's been clear felled. Now in fairness to the owners, they did write to us and ask if we would do it, and we didn't want to. We just, you know, it's just not what we're into really. If you have to clear fell, you have to, but at the moment, post storms, there is so much timber available in the northeast, particularly in North Northumberland. It's everywhere. I mean, we're only a small business and we've got tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of timber lying everywhere. Friends with bigger businesses than ours, they're into tens of thousands of tons stacked up. Friends of ours that own the mills, they're all full as well. Like, there is no shortage of timber. And then to go and clear fell a site like that, which was A, a really nice wood, and B, creating more of a problem, it's just completely unnecessary. It really boils my piss. But anyway, as you can see there in the background over my shoulder, here comes the Lord. So we're up at his farm now. It's just a few miles from where we live, and it's fucking beautiful. It really is. It looks right out over the island. It's stunning, this place. And it also has the best grass in Northumberland. We know this because Ben likes to tell us. So this is outside his mother's house, Bitty's house, and there's this oak tree that came down in the storm. And we're gonna tidy that up today, get this fence fixed. I think he's probably told Bitty that he's already done it. He hasn't. So we'll get this done now. It looks pretty decent, Ben.
Well, that's what I thought, because I remember you guys sort of saying it's a bit of a scraggy shitty thing, and when you're looking at it from the yard, it doesn't look fantastic, but then when you get up to it, it's actually a lot bigger than you.
It is, yeah. Well, that first union that's just beyond you, that's where it starts to get a bit quirky and stuff. I mean, you still get some nice bits out of it, but
could you sell like up to here?
Yeah, you could, but I don't think we should do that.
Yeah, just keep it and...
I think we should just mill it.
Well, No, that's good. Because then we can also put, get some saw logs and we have like bench, we can shove it up at the lake house. It could be like, you know, grown here. Well, it took a while, but...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the difference between foresters and farmers. Foresters spend years learning technique and skills to salvage their timber. Farmers just fucking find ways. They just do. So not the most successful of days, really. Started off with this forwarder and the pump, again. And I've done what we can, and we thought we got it, and it leaked everywhere, so it's not fixed. So we've tried, I've got it stripped off, and we thought, okay, we'll have a break. I'll go down to Ben's and we'll have a go at this oak for him. First cut was great. We thought, okay, it's a decent tree. You know, we're looking pretty good here. Put in the second cut, and there must have been some big lump of metal in it. Ben thinks that his dad was shooting it years ago, which sounds about right for a Leyland. Anyway, so that wrecked my chain, and it's ended up breaking the clutch plate on the inside of the saw. So that stopped that little plan. So I've come back here, and I have got the pump off again now. As I say, it's the fourth time in 3 months. It's in the back of the truck. It will go into the workshop. I'll set about that over the weekend at some point. It's been an all right kind of a day, but nothing's got fixed. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, this forwarder from the day we got it, I'm not going to moan about it. We took it off a mate of ours, and no money changed hands. Some barter was normal for us, so you can't complain too much. But it would be nice if it had gone straight to work and had been of some use for us. But as of yet, it hasn't. But it happens. When it's right, it'll be right. It'll be absolutely fine. It's a pain in the ass, but if I'm honest, I kind of enjoy the fixing of everything like this. It's part of it. When you run old gear and you cobble things together, you just have to take it on the chin. It is a part of it. So I think I'm ready for a pint. Ollie, good morning. I think it's a little after 3. I've got shit to do. I'm feeling like spring today. I went out last night to sort of raise a glass to an old friend of mine who was he's been dead longer than he was alive. You know, it's pretty bleak. Anyway, I went out with the intention of watching the rugby and then kind of getting smashed. And a little way into it, I decided, you know, that's a pretty poor way to try and remember someone whose life got taken away so fast they weren't able to live it. So I came home and had a bath, and Nathalie made us a nice meal. Had a couple of hours sleep, and now I'm up. I've got some shit on. I'm going to try and get these 2 forwarding trailers sorted out this morning. Okay, so that's the forwarders all swapped over. It's tractor fueled up, greased up, digger fueled, greased. The sun's up, everything's up except Nathalie. I'm going to go and wake her up now. See if we can get her into her gym stuff and away for an hour or so doing some training. She always comes back a bit brighter. And then with everything ready, we can get back into the woods and do some work, which I know always makes a massive difference to her. If she can run a saw, she's happy. And if she's happy, I'm happy. Oh shit. Oh. Okay. That's not gone well at all. What are you up to?
Pipe's ready.
The digger?
Yeah, down to the minute.
Alright, brilliant.
Get it now.
Alright. Excellent. So our friend Darren has repaired the pipe for the digger for us. That burst yesterday frustratingly in the middle of a really dry day and a really good day. So Nathalie's off to get that now. That's such good news. So I might not be able to do any work in the digger today, but at least I can get it running again. This is good. Look at it. Look at the fucker mocking me.
Look how sexy the pipe is.
amazes me, it really does. We've had it about 10 years. It was brand new from a slow boat from China. A guy we know down in Lancashire, he's actually a Unimog dealer, but he bought a load of these things thinking that he was going to be able to sell them in the UK, you know, he'd be a dealer for them over here. Anyway, it didn't really work out for him, mostly because they're shit. So at the time, a European spec one would set you back, I don't know, probably about 15 to 18,000, something like that. I gave him 3 for this and told him he'd never hear from me again if it went wrong, which it inevitably would. I wouldn't bother him with it, you know. So it arrived and we just set it to work. Do you know what? It's been no fucking trouble. Like, really, it's been no trouble. There's the few little things that it's needed doing, I've managed to do myself. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass at the time, but you just fucking get on with it and it's been fine. All this nightmare with the Botex that we've got at the moment, which isn't the Botex's fault and certainly not the manufacturer's fault. It's just what happens when you run old gear. I've had to take it off and do all this stuff with the pump and everything that you've already heard about, and ended up putting this one back on again. Oh, hello, here comes a timber wagon. Putting this one back on again so that we can just keep working. And this is how much it's managed to just knock out today. With no trouble, you know. It's just a little forwarder, you know. It's not a big commercial thing. It's just a little jobby, but it does the job, you know. I'm so pleased that we kept hold of it. Standard smokehouse afternoon. Hennes has just turned up with cousin Matthew, coming to get himself some firewood, and Tom's turned up with his drone to come and do some flying stuff for us, some filming, and now the angry herpes lady has just turned up with parcels. Fuck's sake. Everybody's here. Safety first.
I'm just going to focus on work mainly, I think. I'm really enjoying working. Running most of the business now, as Kez has taken some time to get in the studio and make some more music. He's always got people offering him jobs.
St Patrick's Day and Gold Cup Day. Early dart, pub.